So yeah, we've been lucky to be a part of the pilot for some of the new AI stuff coming through with Bullhorn. So the particular tool I'll talk about is the virtual recruiter screener. So we work across a lot of different industries, but particularly for our blue collar and unskilled roles, they obviously attract a very high number of applicants and can need to be filled really quickly. So sifting through those volume of candidates can take a lot of time and slow us down. So the VR screener moves part of the process back onto the candidate to take action and progress their application so we can really focus on those candidates that are engaged and genuinely interested. I'm going to share my screen. Awesome. So I've just put in some screenshots because it's obviously off over a couple of platforms. So we create the job in Bullhorn, and then we've got a custom field that triggers to generate some questions using the VR screener. So that part is created currently with a webhook in automation. Those questions then go on to a tab on the job in Bullhorn, and those questions are only as good as the information that the recruiters put onto the job record, but the feedback that we've had so far is that they're absolutely awesome, really specific, and really, really good tool for the guys to use. There's two ways that you can deploy the VR screener, so either submitted candidates or to anyone that applies to the job. And then we've got a chatbot that goes out via automation to via two different automations for that. Candidate gets an email inviting them to go, do an initial screening, and then we've got some knockout questions in there as well. So if they're not legally allowed to work in Australia, if they make it through the chatbot, then they click on this begin screening button down there. Chatbot is saved as a note on the job record and the candidate profile as well. And then this is what the VR screener looks like. So the most important thing to remember is that this job description is pulled from the job record on the in Bullhorn. So I know a big challenge we had was that a lot of the information stored in there wasn't necessarily appropriate to go externally. So we've had to add some other custom fields in and change our process a little bit to make sure there's no whoopsies with information going out. After they complete the screener, sorry, what it is as well is they start the interview and then there is an agent or VR recruiter who asks them the questions that were on that screening tab as well, and the candidate just speaks back, so it's all by voice. From there, when they complete it, it saves a summary along with the transcript and some talking points on their profile on as well, and gives them a score. And then if someone's taken the time to complete the VR screen, it's really important that we get back to them. So we've had to create an additional rejection status for submissions as well, specifically for this, to trigger an automation that just says, hey, thanks, but due to like large volume or whatever, we're not progressing you. So that's pretty much an overview of the screener, and really we've only been using it for a couple of weeks. We've sort of rolled it out quite small, and then we're rolling it out to the full company next week. The feedback we've had so far is that the screening quality and then consistency across candidates has improved a lot. That first initial phone conversation with the candidates that the recruiters are having is way more effective. They know a lot more about the candidate already. We've got sort of basic candidate automations and screening to get all of their notice period, salary expectations, job types, blah, blah, blah. But the VR screener is giving early insight into their alignment and suitability for the role. They've also said it's really helping them to identify maybe other roles that the candidate is better suited to based on their answers as well. So far, completion rate or conversion has been better than I expected. It's actually higher for the blue collar roles than some of the white collar roles that we've been using it on as well, which is quite interesting. there's definitely roles we'd never use it on, but in saying that, one of our team leaders used it on a senior production manager role, which we probably traditionally would have said no, don't use it on that, but he had a really good response rate from that as well. And yeah, had to make a few process changes along the way, which is always challenging with salespeople. I'm very much the process police. I will follow a process A to Z, but I probably wouldn't make any sales. So it's just about finding what is the right process that's going to work with automation, get back to our candidates, but not slow them down when we're trying to save them time as well.